Huh. Didn't have my mic muted before, so maybe you heard the puppy barking. Welcome, welcome. I am sort of together here with a mess of a desk, but I'm here, and good to see so many people here. Thanks for being here. We should have a great day. I have been doing lots of little behind the scenes channel stuff that feels good. The weather's been beautiful here. I did get my flowers picked, and only one spider escapee since I put them here, and they are still dripping. But let's talk about what we're going to be doing here today. Hello. I don't know if I've said to thank our and I don't know if you like me to say a name or say your handle, but Liquid Hour for our wonderful music here. So thank you for that. Yeah, I did not know that spiders were a Halloween thing because that's the season they come out in, but boy, do I know that here. Yes, Monty is being the perfect sleeping dog, far away from potential chaos, so that's good. Our plan here, and good to see you. Okay, name is fine. Okay, so thanks. So thanks, Nanad. I need to ask my other gardener friends about what do I need to plant to get the year-round stuff. My one friend who grows dahlias does a great job with other stuff in it, so that's one of my things that are getting on my list for next year, to be able to make bouquets that aren't just all dahlias. But I am going to either need to buy flowers or strategically plant or something. So all right, so our plan for today, we're going to do 3 20-minute blocks with a short break in between. We'll see if there are questions that come up. Feel free to ask questions about the review process. Sometimes we chat a little, sometimes we chat a lot, but feel free to ask questions, or if you have any epiphanies or any big wins that you'd like to share as we go along, feel free. That's what makes this fun together, but also we want to be focused also in working, so feel free to ignore us if that's the best thing for you to get your reset done. First, we're going to look back and reflect on the past week. If you haven't done one before, then feel free to look back further than a week. Then we're going to look around, kind of align, what do we have happening, and then look ahead, plan the week forward, and then we'll come back and wrap it up at the end, and we can check in with each other, etc. So, I'm having some screen. Let's see, we're going to need a timer, so let's do that. And we are going to need this. So the first block we're going to do is look back. So write on your wins or highlights. Note any challenges or things that didn't work. If that's something that is helpful for you, if that's something that is not motivating for you, then feel free to leave that out. And then jot down how you're feeling right now. The big difference between the GTD weekly review and the full focus reset is very much feeling oriented and reflective, more on life rather than just businessy stuff. And so I really enjoy putting down some feeling stuff, and then any adjustments that you're going to make for next week. So I will go ahead and start our timer. And again, thanks for being here. Feel free to chat, and we will see you in 20. Hello. Yep. Okay. There I am. So we have finished our first block, and sounds like we had a lot of really good wins and a lot of unexpected wins. Why is my brain not thinking about? There we go. All right. Yeah, the idea for me is like, when I see wins, I think it needs to be like super important things, but I like to just list everything good, just to have it all in one spot, so I don't, you know, I could look back at reviews. If I need to look at good stuff, I just have always this really long lists, and I'd rather write more than less. Of course, it takes more time, so it depends if you have the time. I mentioned that I had questions, new things that I thought of. I went to a composting class a couple weeks ago, and we built worm bins. So I now have a worm bin at home, and I have a worm bin at the garden that I help run. And so we built it a week ago Saturday, and then the extension agent asked, so has anybody been over to check on your worms? It's like, no. So someone ran over and checked, they were fine. But it's like, one of the questions in prioritizing is like, can something die? Is something going to be hurt? Is something going to be sad? Someone going to be sad? Someone or something, you know? Just especially with the pet health problems, and then having something new to take care of. That, yeah, plants can die, but I would really hate a mass worm kill off. That would be bad. So that was my new questions that I want to write down, because, you know, that really probably should take a priority. And even things like, you know, keeping the hummingbird feeder stocked and clean and stuff. It's like, they're not going to die, but they're going to be, you know, I should probably prioritize that over, you know, vacuuming as often or something. So that was my thought. Oh, I have a puppy. I don't think he's in view. No. Weekly reminder to talk about the worms. Here's a fun fact. My one friend who built hers, and she lives on the big river, you know, and so anyway, she was having trouble with her worms wanting to crawl out, and we learned that they want to crawl out. They don't like to be moved. They don't like vibration. And so, like, when the bin that we were taking apart to make ours and taking the worms out of, because that had been transported, they were all crawling up the sides. And so when she got my friend that lives on the river, when she got hers home, she said they keep trying to escape. And this, I mean, they should have calmed down after they got set into place. And I'm like, well, maybe it's because she lives on the big river. Maybe because she's got a lot of wind. Maybe. And she's like, well, they were on the deck, and I thought maybe the vibration of the deck. And so it turned out, in case you have worms that are trying to escape, they needed more water. She needed to spritz them down. So that's my worm tip for the day. And I see your dad made you worm bins. Oh, it's sand for soil. That's tough. I've had clay in the past. Here, my soil's pretty good, but I still just tend to grow when I plant on purpose in raised beds, you know. Initially, I did more vegetable gardening. Actually, I found my first ripe tomato yesterday and today. I did not plant tomatoes this year. I only have volunteers. So one of the dahlia beds was my tomato bed last year. And so I've got sun gold tomatoes and chocolate cherries coming up. And I didn't know they were chocolate cherries. I thought they could have been one other variety, but I saw one yesterday almost ripe as I walked in, and those you have to pick really quickly. But this morning when I was picking my dahlias, I saw sun gold, so little late to be starting our tomatoes, but at least I can say I got some this year. Ooh, ice cubes. That's a good tip. Cool. All right. Irises. What kind are they? Bearded irises or like Dutch irises. There were some bearded irises here when I moved in. I don't know if they're still there because of some wind damage, but a friend gifted some, and she gave me 3 chunks, and I think I've got 5 or 6 now. So I don't know if they're gonna bloom. I haven't seen a flower yet, but we'll see. They are multiplying. Yeah, bearded are to me, the way I explained it, like the bearded are the ones that have kind of like the bird cage and then the petals that go down where they have the thing on top. And then Dutch are the ones that are more just kind of open and single color usually. Bearded are often 2 color. Sometimes they're 1, but they're often 2 color if you can like picture the kind of irises that are 2 color. All right, so that was our gardening talk. Yay. Yeah, bearded. Yeah, those are so pretty. I hope that I get mine to bloom. All right, so let's take a look at our next section. So I'm gonna look around, kind of get reset before we start plowing ahead. So look at your tools and routines. Is there anything that needs to change up? I tend to do this kind of thing before the reset. I try to. I did not have time today, but I may move that earlier definitely for me, and we'll see if I move it earlier in writing. Revisit your priorities or your goals or your projects, whichever of those things you like to have. Check your calendar, kind of see what's coming up so that when you plan, you know what you're taking into account. Gather your tasks, do any migrating, etc. You know, I've done a couple of videos showing Canopio, so I've got it on my right-hand screen there, and I was setting up my Mnemosyne page. I don't know what I did. Ooh, maybe it's this. I don't know what I did to turn it into dark mode, but I'm going to have to figure that out, or just live with it, or maybe make a new one. But I'm afraid now if I make a new one, like everything's going to be dark, so we'll see. Oh, going to be taking over a new garden. Awesome. Yeah. It'll be fun to find out what's there. Cool. Oh, yeah, Tuesday talk. That would be good. Do a Tuesday garden. And I've had so many people ask me, like, what do you do to keep track of your gardening stuff? I'm like, honestly, I've been horrible about it. I just, when I had this property when I lived in California full time, I was here part time. So it's like, oh, I can't wait till I can have a garden. I can't wait till I can grow vegetables. I can't wait till I can grow dahlias. And I was tracking the first year, like what comes up at what time of year, because I don't know the climate, but then I got involved with community gardening, and my garden has just gone to crap. So next year is going to be the year for my garden. So yeah, people have asked me, you know, how do you keep track of your tasks? How do you keep track of like your information, your notes year to year? So that's something definitely over the winter that not only am I going to do for me, but do content on it as well. So cool. All right, I am going to start our timer and we will come back. All right, so we are on another break, and those songs are just ending right at the right time. How does that happen? It's magic. It really is. All right, so we did our looking around. Might have it a little bit low now. And I was catching up on my index because that wasn't done, and I realized I mentioned in the chat that I am potentially going to run out of notebook before I run out of month, but that's okay. If I have to start the other one early, I will. I've been allowing myself to skip lines and have a little more white space and do a little more creative instead of packing everything into a page, and just so be it. But I realized I must be heads down, like working, because I haven't I don't have like intermediate pages between my daily pages of projecty stuff or learning stuff. I mostly like the learning stuff. A lot of times I have a page for Final Cut Pro and a page for streaming information or whatever, but I haven't had a lot of that on paper, so it's just a lot of daily stuff. It's a lot of work. Yeah, AJ runs on Octants, so 8 seasons, 6-ish weeks, half quarters. So yours gonna start when mine does, and hopefully that'll be normal. Cool. Well, mine may start a week early. I start mine on Mondays. I don't start like the first of the month. So pulling up a calendar, I expected my fall to go through November 2nd, but it may go through October 26th. We'll see. I'm on page 96, and I stole a few pages out of the back of my 150 page notebook, so I think I have about 145 pages, so I've got about about 50 to go. I've got about a third of it left. And the first part does have a lot of setup, so I might be okay. But I'm not gonna limit myself. I have told myself if I have to move into my next one early, so be it. Yes, I do feel more comfortable now allowing myself more white space. Absolutely. I felt like I had to like cram everything onto the pages, and I realized that's the reason I'm using the notebook, is so that I don't. So even always dangerous if I start showing things on camera. Oh, Parker digging in the, like, there's a page from early September, and then there's a page from this week where, you know, skipping spaces, drawing boxes, leaving room for the post-it, those kind of things. And Sharon was asking about my notebooks, and just since we're taking a break call, I pulled up, there's an older video of mine that I had been using this little notebook in 2024 for a stretch, and you can see, oh, there's nothing horrible on here, but I had these little tabs for the weeks, and so I'd make a weekly spread, which was way too small for me, and then I'd have my dailies. So that was in like summer of 2024, and then at some point I decided, well, I really love the feel of these Mnemosyne Japanese notebooks, so I got a bigger one, and you know, the pages are too big for a day. And so, but they are good for a day if you want to do, so this one is A5, this one is B5. It was good to do, you know, time and tasks. So this was like a, basically, you know, like a Franklin or full focus planner setup. But then and that one was in 2025. So that's when I wasn't doing dailies in my notebook. I was like, I'll do dailies someplace else. So I tried a couple dailies in here. I realized I like the dailies in the big one. What other kind of things have I done in this? This one was pretty decent for like a task roundup, but I can't seem to find it. Because what's nice about their lined one and the Mnemosyne is it's got 3 10-line chunks, and I think the lined A5 does the same thing. Lines are just smaller, but so it's easy to make areas of life, and if you write small, you can fit 6 on a page. If you write big, you could do, you know, you can do it on a spread like that. Yeah, thank Amazon for that. Although, I mean, I have plenty of old Japanese planners here. I have plenty of old Hobonichis, but I don't like writing that small. This is what I used when I was teaching, and for a lot of other times over the years. But I love that, you know, Japanese paper is just so much nicer, and all the A5, B5, you know, the AB size papers just make so much more sense than our silly 8.5 by 11 letter that doesn't match up to anything else. But yeah, these are linked in most of my videos, not the live streams, but these along with my Hamelins. So they're all on Amazon. So yeah, gotta love nice paper. And somebody, I don't remember if it was Sharon or if it was somebody else in the comments, was asking if I'm worried about the pages tearing out. Both the Hamelins and the Mnemosynes have perforations, but they're micro perforations. I mean, they're done so well that this, you know, you saw me how I flip around these without, you know, with abandon, and it's not a problem. Plus Hamelins have this nice little notch at the top. So if you're gluing or taping or something a letter size page over it, it's easy to line up. They're just wonderful. Standard loose leaf notebook sheet horizontal. Yeah, I have definitely done that as well. And actually I got a couple A4 size because they're not golden rectangles. I go down the math nerd thing, right? They're not golden rectangles, but they are but they're just such a better, more pleasing size. Right, so here's an A4 notebook. This is a Mnemosyne, which is the same company that makes the Mnemosynes. And I don't know if I have any here, but hey, there's some Master Gardener notes. But I got this dotted notebook thinking this would be a nice size to do vertical. Yeah, golden rectangle. Gotta love a golden rectangle. Yeah, my archive, Nanad, if you saw my bookshelf co-working stream, I thought you might have been here, but they're not in any order because I stay in them for, a few weeks and then I try something else. So I want to be that person like AJ that can say I do this over the years, but I like to have them to look back on either for the information. In a perfect world, I would have a master list that said, from January 4th to January 27th, I was in a Hobonichi. And from January 28th to February 3rd, I was in Todoist. And in a perfect world, I would have that map. I don't. So I have to rely on my brain. And I do jot it down, but I haven't been good at keeping it anywhere because I always think it's like a relationship. It's like, ooh, this is the one. This system is going to be what I do forever. And so I do it. But I'm hoping that that's what this has become and I do keep now, but I haven't gone back. I always think, oh, I should go back. And I have a little bit. There was one point that I did, but I guess I should look at my index to see where it is. I have like a tool, state of the system, 1415. So like with and I'm doing it based on my 4 things now, like calendar, capture, tasks, like what I've changed or what's good. So what I need to add this week is I added OmniFocus for my projects. So this is my 5th notebook for the year. I have kept up with it all year. And so this year I will have that master place to look and I will have the indexes. But what I would love to do is go back and try to recreate where I was everywhere. But it's been so chaotic. Even to do the projects video, I pulled up the old OmniFocus. It's like, okay, well, I was in here in April and then I looked at the Google sheet of projects and it was like, well, this one says these were entered on March 31st. So I must have started the Google sheet and then immediately decided I don't like not having tasks attached and then moved to OmniFocus and then made it so complicated that I used it out. Yeah. Well, and used for your 9 to 5, you use one notebook per year. So when I was teaching, I used one planner per year. The Hobonichis, I don't think I have my teaching ones in reach. But Hobonichi has, this one is a year edition, but they also make one that's the year split in 2, so it wasn't as heavy to carry because these little guys are heavy. And so I did that. And then it was also nice because when it split the year, you'd buy the year as a calendar year, but then you could use half of it for the school year and half of it for the other school year. So I could do that when I was working, but at home, I just, between my personal stuff and now my channel stuff and my volunteer work, there's just a lot. And my family stuff, goodbye. Are you just getting coffee? Okay, my husband's going to get coffee. All right. With that, let's see where we're headed. Look ahead. So this is where we will plan our week. I'm gonna put this here so I come back to it. I think I showed last week. I tend to what if those are spider webs? I've been doing like a little grid in my look around section just for that tactile writing. Getting my schedule down instead of just looking at the calendar. It's actually a little different, and I'll do this for Sharon real quick. So Erin Condren, classic Erin Condren. Oh, I know there's one here somewhere. Well, this is a plum paper, but it's the same size as an Erin Condren. So a B5 is a little taller and not quite as wide. And then Happy Planner, I don't have one handy. If you can relate Erin Condren and Happy Planner, having seen that. Or I don't remember if my Choosing a Spiral notebook has, it definitely has B5, and you can find B5 sizes, but I know I compare it to a few different things. All right, time to look ahead. Oh, bye, Sharon. Take it off. All right. Okay. Yep. Definitely be able to catch the replay. All right, let's reset the timer and finish this up. All right, that is the end of our last block. Yeah, the race, I think registration opens mid-June, and in the past I've registered in like August, and they were sold out some point in mid-July. So, yeah, didn't get to do the race this year. And I was like, I wish them rain, and then I'm like, no, I don't. We've been so lucky the past couple years. It's got to be a very limited race, and I don't know. I mean, I just walk. It's very low risk because you're walking across this bridge, so they bus you to the Washington side, and then you walk across to the Oregon side. Hello, Christina. You walk across to the Oregon side, and so because they need the bridge reopened ASAP, if at a certain point they just sweep people off the bridge, I'm like, well, I don't walk that often, but I might as well give this a go. And worst thing that can happen is I sit down on the side of the bridge and wait for the bus. But no, I've done it with friends the past couple of years, and I know one friend that got in and one friend that didn't. So, you know, we live and learn. Next year we do it faster. Next year it'll probably rain. But yeah, I realized part of my thing, I need to figure out my windows, because I'm trying to do my Canopio task wrangling over on my MacBook Pro monitor off to the side, and it's much easier to do on the big monitor. So I'm going to see if maybe if I move the live stream stuff to the small monitor, I move the Canopio stuff to the big monitor, maybe I can work more effectively. So I'm going to try a little different setup next week. And I've got my old laptop over here. I can enlist it if I need to, I suppose. So hope everybody else got a bunch done. Christina, I don't know if you were here the whole time. If you were, welcome, and welcome anyway, but I hope you got stuff done. If not, you can catch the early stuff on the replay. And AJ pet. Nah. Oh, we got Parker sighting. Oh, yes. Okay, show him your beautiful face. There you go. Yeah. So, all right. Thanks so much for being here, and we will see you hopefully next week. I don't have one planned Tuesday. I could do a live stream Tuesday if people are interested. I didn't plan a project, but my week is actually fairly open. So, there's not a way to DM on YouTube, but you can comment. You're not available, CJ. CJ, you're the Tuesday rock, and I know AJ is busy this week, so maybe we won't this week. But maybe you got me thinking about it with the winter garden talk. So, or winter and into spring. We'll try it then, or try it again. All right. Well, thanks for being here, and we will see you again soon. Take care.